Now we are going to create different types of single segment beams. So I'll proceed back to the settings dialog, and here you can define the cross-sectional height and the cross-sectional width of this particular beam. So again, you can decide to link them by clicking on this chain link. So maybe I could have 200, that is the cross-sectional height. Okay, let us have 400 as a cross-sectional height. Okay, for 50, and then 200 as the cross-sectional width. So we can have that kind of a beam. And then we have the positioning. So it is there. We are going to create a horizontal, we are going to create a flat, horizontal and flat. And you can okay, the edge cuts. If you decide to have an edge cut, you define the angle here. So let's say if you use 45, the start of that particular beam will be slanted at an angle of 45. Now this is the case in some beams, and you do the same for this end if you have to. Again, you can see it is going to end at an angle of 45. If you want to rotate it, maybe you want it to be slanted on the other angle there, you just proceed here and maybe choose 135. Again, if you choose 135, remember that is let me say it is the obtuse or angle of the 45 degrees angle there, and that is why you can see is slanting on the opposite side. That is what we mean, and you can do the same to this one. So if need be, use these options to have edge cuts. But for my case, I'm going to proceed with a start of a flat. Then we have the reference axis. Maybe we are going to look at it, and it is similar to what we saw with the column. But this one, because it is lengthwise, other than shown in a height, we're going to look at it. Then we have the segment. So again, here we have a single segment. So you'd proceed to the structure and then choose the type of beam that you wish to have. Most of the beams are rectangular beams. Maybe you'd create a rectangular beam, but of course, if you choose a circular beam, you'd provide the radius for the cross-sectional width there. Then we have the profile type. You choose the profile type of a beam that you have created, or even that is pre-existing in this option there. So let me just proceed with the rectangular type. And here you can choose the material. Maybe we have reinforced concrete as the material. And then if you want to have it tapered, again, the concepts are the same. You just need to make it tapered by clicking on the tapered size there option, then make it tapered here. So let's say, for example, the start here, we want it to start at, okay, again, you can link or delink. Here, let's say we want it to start at 600. And that is the preview. It will start at 600. Let's have 800. I think that is significant. As you can see, we are going to have that kind of a start, and you can control the height. But for now, let us just proceed with this type of a uniform size, 800 there. So you choose the building material. Again, if you want to override, you override, as you can see on the screen. You can override using the material or using the surface, not the material here, but the surface that you wish to have. Again, maybe your column, let's say this is a beam that we have created. The top is linked to the slab, therefore it does not link to be painted. So in that case, you leave it like that, reinforced concrete, but the other sides will of course be painted. So in that case, you'd use the option, you would use this option, as you can see. That is what we mean by overriding the surface. Again, you can link them. If you choose any of these material, let's say, for example, say we choose the paint pink brush, like that, blush. So again, if you use the link, everything will be linked, as you can see. So that is the beam that we have created there. And we have the option to add a hole here. Now, if you want to add a hole to your beam, you can do so in this section. Now you can create a hole that is rectangular or even circular. Okay, in my case, and for my ArchiCAD, even if I try and create a hole, it does not show up in plan or even in 3D. So I think there's usually a problem there, but I've seen other versions that are actually showing that particular hole in 3D and also in plan. Now this one does not show even if we have it. In that case, if yours is showing, you can try and do the various settings. For example, we have these offsets, control the position of this particular hole in the cross-sectional, in the cross-section, or even in the length, because it will be placed in the length. You choose where it will be located and then its size. So I'm just going to click OK here. And remember, for a beam, it has the length property. So you create a length. You just need to click and then define the length similar to the wall. And that is why you can see we have different options, the geometry methods, and of course very similar to the wall, as we are going to see. I can define the length like that. So if I click, that is the length of that particular beam. If you look at this beam in plan, there is nowhere shown that there is a hole. I think that is a problem. It's not my problem. And maybe you can try your version and see whether the hole will be produced. This is the column. You can see it has some overrides. Now this column, you can decide to modify it, or even I'm going to click another one, but this one, I'll proceed back to the beam. We'll have it slanted. So in case you want a column that is slanted to an angle, let's say 45 degrees, your column will be slanted at an angle of 45 degrees. And it is very similar to the column. So if you want it slanted, you choose an angle there. I'm just going to proceed with this one. And if you want it to be curved, you choose the radius. Sometimes you would be creating a column. You'll be creating a beam that is slanted. In that case, you choose the slant for that particular arc. Yeah, so not the slant, but you choose the value for the arc. In this case, let's say for example I choose 100. Have a preview, not so much. Let's choose 1000 and see what we are going to see. Yeah, 1000 is a bit curved. Let me just click OK and view it and create it. Okay, this one I need to create it, so I need to click, then I create it like that and view it in 3D. As you can see, that is a curved beam. So that is how you are able to create a curved beam. A slanted beam, we have seen how you can create one here. So that is what we have for a column for a beam when it comes to creating curved or even slanted types.